What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. That's right, Casino, the only sports podcast, home of the dumbest people on the internet commenting on all of our shorts and TikTok. So if you want
I thought you were just about to call us the dumbest people on the internet.
Apparently, no. I mean, well, who knows? But go read any of the comments on any of our shorts, especially from our shorts and TikToks from any Dolphins or Dallas Cowboys fans, the two most delusional fan bases on the face.
Well, I
of
mean,
the
we
planet.
know the Cowboys fans are always delusional.
I
The surprise is the Dolphins fans coming out of the woodworks, because apparently us saying the Dolphins are going to be bad this year, along with every other TV show, obviously no podcasts, but every other, professional analysts on TV, that's what they're saying. And yet, we're the idiots, right?
Yeah. The Dallas or Miami Dolphins, where all they've done this offseason is other
Mike
teams
McDaniels is not in jeopardy of losing his job. He's fine. He's fine. Tua is not concussion prone. Like this, we're fine. You're fine. Tyreek Hill is not, having issues with the team. We're fine. We're fine. Like,
also, if you comment on something, it's me replying. I will reply to you, and we will go back and forth, and I will laugh while I'm doing it. People are like, why are you so angry when you're commenting? My blood pressure.
This is my whole life. This is my whole life with this guy over here. So I totally get it. It's fun. It can be fun. So get after him. I would appreciate that. Make me feel good. Whether I agree with if I agree with him or not, it's still fun.
Yeah. Also, when I'm arguing with someone, unless it's my wife, rarely do I ever get irritated. Like all these YouTube comments or shorts, this is me trolling you. So I hope you realize when you say stuff, I will try to reply in a way that I know will make you angry. And guess what? I'm 100% for it so far.
Yeah.
I'm batting 1,000.
It's really funny because a lot of my friends who listen to this show and I see on a regular basis, they're always like, man, I love when you guys like go after it. And I love when you guys like have different takes. And, you basically telling me that we like when you don't take shit from BJ over here or from Will, whatever you want to call you. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I get that, but I try not to engage because it's just a losing battle with you. And I've learned over the I don't even know, 20 years I've known you that I'm good. I'm good.
Because see, here's the problem with arguing with me. If you're right, I'll just say, oh, you're right. And then it's over.
No,
right?
You don't.
Yes. If you're wrong, if you're wrong or I think you're wrong, then I will fight you till my last dying breath.
No, it's what you think is right and wrong.
Well, that's the funny thing with sports is it's just like all of these things were literally just making opinions.
So that's a fair point when it comes to that's a fair point. Sports all very opinion based, whatnot. When it comes to like real life situations, you're actually quite logical, and I do appreciate that.
I mean, tell that to my wife again. Shout out to my wife 2 times on this podcast. But we are not here.
I'll just text her.
Yeah.
Right now, he's logical. Leave him alone.
Also, randomly, speaking of wives, your wife added me on Snapchat. That's weird. Does she know you're the only person you and my wife are the only 2 people I talk to on Snapchat? I'm 35. Who the fuck else would I be talking to on Snapchat?
Yeah. See, I have the Snapchat, and only reason is because I'm gonna probably get an Instagram soon, but I'm just a dinosaur, right? So I just like that I can cater to the subscriptions that I want to watch. It's like all food and like movie related shit. And then with like, yes, sports in there too, but there's not really a lot of good sports shit on Snapchat. Anyway, even like the ESPN shit, they never post it. No. But I literally just go through Snapchat and I just spam literally everybody. And I think maybe 2 people every like 30 people I spam respond.
Yeah,
like nobody. I think I respond obsolete.
Once out of every 10 things you said.
No, you don't. You never respond until I'm like,
I responded to the last one.
Yeah, because you did respond to the last one, because I think I reached out to you and was like, "Hey, did you respond? Why didn't you respond to this? This is funny. This caters to you."
Yeah, casino's everyone's mom
Oh,
on social media. That's what it is.
probably be getting an Instagram soon, so I think it's time, because that's what everybody lives through, right? Like, I never
Yeah.
get on my Facebook. I never check that. I literally just watch food shit. My social media is literally watching food, movie, and sports shit on the Snapchat subscriptions. Like, that's it.
Yeah. But today, casino. Now that
By the
we've
way,
talked about,
you didn't even ask how I was doing.
I think I did ask, but
No, you
then
didn't. Trust me, because I know what I was
oh,
going to say.
well, I mean, we're already 7 minutes in. So how you doing, casino?
Not good. Not good. Not good at all.
Great.
Yeah.
So we are here today to talk.
Well, you and I are both feeling a little under the weather. We're both catching whatever our wives
Yeah.
had, so that's why we just sound like we've been smoking a pack of cigarettes all day. Like, it's gonna
That
be
would be a
great.
great podcast with just our voices and we're just
Yeah.
smoking cigarettes.
So I'm watching How I Met Your Mother, and I watched that episode where they were just chain smoking, and Lily just turned into that raspy old lady. It was great.
But we are here today, casino, raspy voice and all, to talk about and preview the NFC South. But before we do that, kind of breaking news.
There's some fun stuff to talk about. Let's go.
Breaking news a couple hours ago, at the moment, 5 hours ago, it has been reported that the Commanders and Terry McLaurin have agreed to a 3-year extension worth $96 million. So, thoughts on this extension? Good move for the Commanders, good move for McLaurin. Your thoughts?
I mean, good move for him, right? Getting paid, right? Like, that's always a good move for players, and doing that, getting paid. My thing, though, is, I mean, 3 years, this is good. It's still a lot of money, right? But at least it's not the 6-7 year contracts that, really screw teams over. So I'm okay with this. I think this is a good contract. I mean, he's a good player, right? He's high up on a lot of people's lists in fantasy. So I'm not mad about it. I think it's gonna be pretty good. But yeah, again, the money's a lot, but at least it's only a 3-year thing, and they're not going to screw themselves over, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like on paper, it looks like more money than it actually is, because again, it's an extension, 3 years. You break that down to what? That's like $33 million a year. Yeah, it's a little high for wide receivers, but
again, I mean, he is the number one target, right? He's a great player. If this team is gonna have a run like they did last year, he's gonna be the guy, right? Him and Jaden Daniels are gonna be the two guys, obviously. That's how that works. So, and their chemistry last year was really good. So yeah, I mean, he's a seasoned veteran now. He's played a good amount. He was a 3rd round pick back in 2019. So I like this guy, and yeah, he's good. He's gonna get some money. I like it.
Well, especially if you look at what the Commanders are trying to do now and what they are. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, he's your guys need to strike when the iron's hot. He's your number one option outside of Zach Ertz. Like, he's your number one receiving option. So you're bringing back Ertz, obviously. You're bringing back McLaurin, and then it's just like, let's hope we can run it back and this time get to the NFC Championship and win it.
Yeah, he's been to the Pro Bowl twice. He's broken 1,000 yards 5 times, right? And so that's what, every but 1 year in his career. So he's a great player. I'm totally fine with this. $30 million signing bonus. Ka-ching. What do you think you would go buy if you had $30 million signing bonus? Top of your head, what would you buy? What would you buy? Top of the head, $30 million.
$30 million. See, I'm not a big money guy. I don't really have any, like, I want a billion cars. I don't give a shit about cars or houses, really. So I really don't know what I would buy.
I know
put it in savings
like
a dork.
You know what I would buy? Obviously you do that and you pay off the house and do all that stuff. But like, the one thing that I really want, I have a good truck, but I would want this year's top of the line truck that I want, with all the gizmos and gadgets. And then I'd be like, that would be my spend. I wouldn't go crazy. I want a nice truck that is super reliable and up to date.
Yeah. See, I mean, you can ask my wife, my kids. My kid is super.
You can ask me. I've known you for 20 years. Been saying it. Yeah, you're not a money guy.
No, my
Okay.
son's been getting really into cars, and he's like, "Dad, what's your dream car?" And I was like, "I have no dream car." I was like, "I don't think about that kind
You
of
drive
stuff."
the Jetta for a while, I think, right?
I literally could not tell you what my brand of car is right now. I just don't
You're a
know.
fucking
I
idiot.
just don't care
All right,
about
well,
that.
moving on.
I
So we
don't I
got
don't care.
so yeah, so overall, we think this is a decent deal. I mean, again, it's a short deal, 3 years, $30 million a year roughly. So like this is good. Like I think this is good. It's not gonna kill him. Plus, he's your playmaker, man. 2-time Pro Bowler, like I said, over 1,000 yards every year. Like he's going to be consistent. And he finally got paid, and he deserved to get paid. I'm
Yeah.
happy for him.
Yeah, no, me too. I've always liked McLaurin, even though he plays for a rival. But again, as an Eagles fan, I've never viewed the Commanders as rivals. So, and I like that team's relevant. Like
Yeah.
last year when they were relevant, it was fun.
See, and that's
It
funny
was
because that's
fun.
how I am with the Bills, right? I've never disliked the Bills. I would always root against them, right? But I've
Yeah,
never disliked. I despise the Jets and I despise the Dolphins with every fiber of my being as a Patriots fan. But the Bills, I've never really hated the Bills. I've always wanted to beat them, never hated them. And
yeah.
I think a lot has to do with that was really when Tom Brady was like in the height of his career, right? They had why am I totally blanking on his their coach, the Bills coach for a long time. Uh, uh, Foot fetish. Why am I blanking on this?
Rex Ryan.
Thank you, Rex Ryan.
It's
Jeez,
funny how
Louise.
that was the thing that made me go like, "Oh, that's who you're talking about."
Oh yeah, but
It's
it's
like,
really funny. But yeah, Rex Ryan, and he's a good sport about all the Tom Brady stuff and all that. So anyway, so I think it made that team really fun to watch because I liked his antics on the sideline. Anyway,
yeah. Now
moving
that
forward.
outside of that, anything else to talk about, or can we dive into the NFC
No,
South?
we could talk about some other stuff. Did you watch any of the Little League World Series? And I'm saying this because I legitimately like it, and it is a big deal for upcoming baseball players worldwide. Did you watch any of it?
No, but I did watch. I think the same time that was going on, I did watch Hawaii and Stanford. That was actually
Yeah,
really good and came
that
down to
was
the
a
wire.
fun game. That
Yeah,
was
that was a
a
good game.
very very fun game.
Also, this is me being just dumb and not knowing. It was like 9 o'clock here and pitch black when that game was going on. It was still in Hawaii. It was like the middle of the day there because
Yeah,
I was watching it live.
it's a 3 hour difference. I just got back from Hawaii
It
in
is
July.
a 3 hour difference. That's what I was going to ask because
And
I know
but so
you've been to Hawaii.
it's just like Arizona though. They do not recognize the
Daylight
time.
savings time.
Yep. And then so toward in the winter, they're only going to be a 2 hour difference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which threw me off because normally when we would go to Hawaii over years past, it would always be in the winter. So it was a 2 hour difference. So this was totally throwing me off this time around. But yeah. But anyway, Little League World Series, shout out to Vegas, by the way. They were the US champions and then got slaughtered by Chinese Taipei in the finals. But I really enjoy watching the Little League World Series. I look for it every year.
China.
It's
They're beating us at everything. China.
they haven't won since '96 though, so
Yeah,
it
I
has
know,
been a
but they're
long time.
beating us at everything now. Like every
Oh,
year
of
they
course.
get better at everything.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, we're cooked, as the kids say.
We're cooked. We're cooked. We're cooked.
Um,
But yeah. Oh, another fun thing. Now we're still football related, by the way. I don't know if you knew this. Nobody knew this, and my coworker was like, "I'm really glad that," very sarcastically, "I'm glad that you're happy about this. I'm glad that you're into this." But Las Vegas's indoor football league or football team just won the title, by the way.
I did
Vegas
see that.
Nighthawks.
I did not know
And
Arena Football League was still a thing. I didn't even know that was
so it's
still
not
going
arena.
on.
It's not the AFL. It's the IFL. It's Indoor Football League.
Oh, so the AFL did go under.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool. They won. It was a high scoring game. Neither team could stop. And I told my buddy who was there, I was like, whoever wins this game it's going to come down to the first defensive stop. 2 seconds left in the game. Vegas got the goal line defensive stop and won the game. It was awesome.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But anyway, that was football related.
Do you remember when we were like 15, 16 and the Arena Football League for some reason was really popular?
Oh, it was
and
really
they
popular.
released their video game, the Arena Football. It was just
Do you
called
remember
Arena
what
Football.
our team wasn't called here in Vegas?
Wasn't it the?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yeah,
But
we've had multiple football leagues. We've done it all.
But I do remember playing that game, and it was awful. It was on the PS2, and I just remember being like, "Oh,
Well,
this is
there's your
bad."
first mistake, the PS2.
Hey,
Ugh.
PS2, best series, best console ever,
No,
best
no,
console ever.
no. Wrong. Best console ever was the Nintendo 64. That's the best console ever.
Yeah, but you play it now, it doesn't hold up. You can play
Yes. Oh
PS2
no,
now and it holds up.
I
It was
just
the
played.
Outlaws.
I just there it
Outlaws.
is. I just played Banjo Kazooie the other day. It's great.
uh okay. We've done enough, Casino. We've done enough. I'm looking at all these. We should do arena football. Dude, there is so many arena football teams, but it's just because everybody just kept changing their names.
Yeah.
So look at this. I'm gonna share my screen right now. This is
Mm.
just
We can
arena
do. We can do.
football
Yeah.
team names.
We can do another. That's
Look at that.
a lot.
That is way more than I
We could
thought.
do another take on that. We can do the indoor football league and arena football league and do another top 10. We still need to do the hockey top 10 for the
I
minor
know.
leagues.
I
But
know. We gotta.
we'll get
There's
there.
so many
We'll get
things.
there. It's too many things. There's too many things. But
But
speaking of too many things, we've gone on for too long. Not
yeah,
really. I
we're
think
17 minutes in.
yeah, it's not
17 minutes.
that's
We
fine.
did go on for too long.
No, it's not. No. We've gotten
All
better
right.
and better at keeping ourselves on time.
That's true.
But
Without further ado,
do
Casino, it is time for our NFC North. No, it's not. Our
no
NFC South,
South.
which I did have right. It's time for our NFC South preview. And we, as always, start bottom to top. So the
Dumpster
team that
fire.
finished last in the league last year, I think is going to be the worst team this year. That is the New Orleans Saints,
The New
Casinos.
Orleans Saints.
New Orleans, a city
New
I love,
Orleans
the
Saints.
best food I've ever had in my life, best vacation I've ever taken. The food was so good.
Even though you had bed bugs.
That's what I was just going to say that. Even though we got bed bugs, the food and trip was so great that when I think about that trip, I forget about the bed bugs. I just think about the food, and the drinks. It was so good.
I can't wait to go. I've always loved Southern food and that Cajun New Orleans style food.
Oh,
And
it's so good.
I can't wait to go and try the authentic thing. So
Dude,
anyway,
I've said it before. We went to a hotel lobby and I had the best food of my life. Like it's like you can go to a gas station there, and it's the best. But the New Orleans Saints Casino last year 5-12.
Yeah.
This year, who knows what their quarterback's going to be?
Yeah, I was gonna say they do a lot of things right in New Orleans, but they can't even get a quarterback right. So let's figure this out.
Their offensive line rated by PFF as 22nd in the league going into the season. Honestly, not as bad as I thought they would be. I thought they were going to be 30 or below, but their offense last year led by a quarter of the season, half the season, quarter of the season. Yeah. Their offense last year under Derek Carr was 21st in the league. I think this year is going to be significantly lower than that.
Yeah. Even though they have an okay offensive line, it's not amazing. But yeah, everything that is around the offensive line is garbage. So
yeah,
or old. We'll get to that in a minute.
And their defense last year was 30th in the league. I don't know how it's much better looking at this team. Also, before we started recording the podcast today, they cut like 12 players off their team. So a worse team gets even worse because one of those players was their longtime. I just had it up. Their longtime running back, Cam Akers. Well, not their long time, but a long time starter in this league. Cam Akers got cut by the Saints. So I don't think it's too early to say. I think Saints are in full tank to try to get. Who knows if the Manning comes out this year? I think he doesn't come out this year. I think comes out next year. But if he does come out this year, Saints, which would be kind of neat because that's where, what is it? The father Manning, what's his name?
Yeah.
Archie Manning.
Yeah.
That's where he played. I think that'd be cool. Full circle moment. But thoughts on the New Orleans Saints Casino? Because
man, they're going to be bad. Like I have the Browns as my worst team in the league. You have the Saints. The Saints are my second, and it is close. It's crazy that they got rid of Cam Akers. He's only 26, and yet you still have their only saving grace probably on offense, which is going to be Alvin Kamara, but he's 30 years old, man. That is an eternity for a running back to still be like your number one running back, right?
Yeah.
And I say that Derrick Henry is just a monster. He's 31, so that's a thing. But I mean, Alvin Kamara, like that is their team, right? That is
Yeah.
their whole.
Well, they also have Chris Olave. Shout out to Chris Olave.
I mean, fair enough, fair enough. But I mean, still not fully saying who their starter is going to be at this point, and they're both garbage players. It's just it's going to be bad. So yeah, Spencer Rattler though is most likely going to get it. I don't have any faith in this kid at all. I know we were saying that it was fun when he played, last year or when he had a couple starts. I'm just like, oh yeah, Rattler, yeah, cool. But when Derek Carr left, that was such a kick to the nuts, dude. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
they had a chance. They did have a chance to get themselves a better quarterback, right?
Yeah. They
That-
could have
they-
drafted literally almost any quarterback in this draft
Yeah.
and then just waited.
And then they just decided, nope, we're going to just go later rounds. And just that's completely idiotic of them to do.
And I don't know how you say this, that guy's last name, the Tyler Shao. I think it's Shao or Shu or whatever it is. He has some of the worst preseason or offseason tape you will ever see. Like, you just watch a full series with him as quarterback. It's like he's the when you think rookie quarterback, like he's doing the things where you're like, this is what you imagine rookie quarterbacks do, which is just like, fumbling because he tripped or throwing a pass just to a wide open defender. Like, he has legitimately none of the spark that you would see from like a rookie quarterback where you're like, give him time and something will come of it. He just looks like bottom tier bad rookie quarterback, like play you've ever seen. And it's just, there will be people being like, he's not that bad. And it's just like, again, in preseason, he was bad to mediocre. Regular season, he's going to be awful.
Oh yeah. And he's not even going to get the starting job.
Well, yeah. As of, we were doing this for our TikTok. As of 4 hours ago, this is a quote from NBC Sports from Kellen Moore. Saints are obviously pretty close to deciding QB1.
Obviously pretty close.
The season starts in a week and a half.
Yeah. And so, and so this already has me in question on what Kellen Moore can do, dude. Like, you haven't made your decision yet. Like, that's horrible. Maybe you haven't. You just haven't told the media, but you've told the players, right? But still, this is just I don't know how Kellen Moore is going to do. As the head coach for the Saints. This has already got me worried that he's not sticking to a guy and moving forward with that and being like, all right, offense, or all right, team. Not even just the offense. The team rallies around the quarterback. The defense fights for the quarterback and all that stuff. The fact that he hasn't been like, this is your guy, this is how we're going to run it around him. This is what we're focused on. Like, doesn't sound like that's not too comforting. And I think Kellen Moore knows that. I mean, he obviously knows that they're going to be a horrible team this year. But you can at least give a little effort in that and try to just like stick to your guns on something. To be this far out and not know for certain who you're going to pick. At least to the media.
It's definitely concerning.
It's concerning.
Well, it's also, Rattler last year. So when Derek Carr went down for injury, Rattler started 7 games. In those 7 games, 57% completion percentage, 1,300 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and he was sacked 22 times.
Yeah, so, and that's going to be your starting quarterback. Ew.
Yeah, it's either that or Shao, who I'm just going to say Shao because I like saying Shao. But Shao, during the preseason, he was 333 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and then he also ran a touchdown in. So, I mean, I don't know. Again, he was 60% completion percentage for 102 yards. Like, that's preseason numbers, and it's just none of those. Again, you watch these games. I've watched way more preseason than I planned to, just because every team has
it's like on. That's what I see.
Yeah,
right.
It's on, and you're like, oh, I want to see what the Saints' potential starting quarterback looks like. So you watch his whole series, and then you're just like, not good. Like, not good at all. And then, and again, Kellen Moore. As an Eagles fan, thank you for winning us a Super Bowl. That is fantastic. Like, great job. But also, every place. This is why I'm very optimistic about the Eagles this season, is because every
Here we go.
time,
Eagles.
well, no, every time Kellen Moore has left a team, their offense has gotten better. He's the offensive coordinator. So when your offensive coordinator, who keeps getting all these jobs, leaves his previous job and that team gets better, I feel like that's kind of an indictment on you as an offensive coordinator. Like,
That's fair.
and
No, I mean, that's
again,
totally fair.
he left, the Eagles were like, run it back, and he left them to go to what is potentially and being projected as the worst team in the league with the Saints. So he's got to have something up his sleeve, or maybe the owner or management was just like, listen, this season we're just straight up tanking. Like, we're tanking, and hopefully the Manning kid comes out next year. Like, I really feel like that's just what the Saints are hoping for.
That's fair.
So
Moving on.
Well, the over under, do you want to guess what the over under is for this team?
3.5.
Close. So the lowest over under is 4.5 with the Browns. Saints at 5.5. Who in the hell is looking at this Saints team and being like, this is 6 win?
I'm gonna smash that under.
Yeah. Outside of Kamara,
I know they got a fairly, I know, right. And I know they got a fairly easy schedule, right? So I think they're playing 3 playoff teams, something like that. Like, they're going to have a fairly easy schedule, but no, I'm done. Like, this team is so garbage. It's done.
Also, little Saints fun fact for you. Alvin Kamara has been in the league since 2017, never rushed for over 1,000 yards, which seems surprising.
That does
never
seem
rushed
surprising.
for over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
He's had over 1,000 all-purpose yards because he obviously gets a lot of receptions, but closest he came was last year with 950 rushing yards in only 14 games. I mean, the issue with that is he's only played a full season his rookie year. Every other year he's missed games.
Yeah.
So if he plays a full season, I mean, he just turned 30, so I doubt this is going to be the season he does it. But if he does do it this year and gets over 1,000 yards, that'll at least be a cool little fact.
The fact that he just turned 30 and you and I, you're 35, I'm about to be 35, and we look at him and like, oh, he's a dinosaur. You know?
Yeah,
he's a 45-year-old man out there running.
I can't remember what comedian said it, but they had that joke where it was like, you feel like you're young and then you're watching sports and it's like, here comes 34-year-old blah blah blah. He's the oldest player in the league. Should have retired years ago. And you're just like,
and then in hockey is one of the few places where you get players that start in the NHL that are like 18, 19. Some are even younger than that. I mean, you've had, I think, a player start when he was like 17 or something like that.
Well, that's same with the NBA. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Even in the NBA, now in the NBA, right? And it's just it's insane that you just have team players that are years away from being able to legally drink in the States, and you're just like, and you're watching them, and you're like, yeah, I'm your age. Let's go.
Well, it's also crazy where you'll see NHL players or NBA players and they'll be like 27, 28, and they'll be like, this guy's been in the league for a decade. And you'll just be like, dear Lord.
What did I do with my life?
Yeah. But next up, Casino, a much prettier outlook in the eyes of everyone. No, I'm just kidding. Apparently in the eyes of me, because the next team we're previewing is the Carolina Panthers, a team no one has faith in, that for some reason I'm just the only one on Carolina Panthers Island. Because last year they went 5-12 after that whole Andy Dalton benching debacle, and then Bryce Young comes back in, looks pretty good at the end of the season.
No, he got into a car accident.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying the debacle of one starting, one gets benched, one gets starting again.
Got it.
Well, also probably the driving accident, that would be probably considered a debacle. It was, I mean, nobody was injured, but still, you get in an accident, that's a debacle.
He was injured. His thumb, bro.
Well, I'm saying, but I mean, nobody was fatally injured. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. I'm just trying to correct you.
The Panthers were the worst defense in the league last year, at 32nd ranked in the league. They were allowing over 400 yards a game every single game. That was their average, which is absolutely insane. Their offense, however, a little bit better, 29th in the league. So again, I am optimistic for this team because how can you be worse than you were last year? And again, you were so bad last year and you still won 5 games. So I am on the Panthers optimistic train, which is just saying they can't be better than they were last year. Bryce Young looked like an NFL quarterback at the end of last season.
Yeah.
They just rebuilt their defense, rebuilt their offense, and it's just
Yeah.
kind of, I'm
I,
optimistic.
you know what? I'm there with you. I think they're going to be better than last year. I think they can get that 7-win mark. I don't think they can go past that. I know this is a bad division. However, I don't know if they can get past that 7-win mark. But that's kind of where I'll put them. Um, I do like Bryce Young as just a person. I feel like once he came off that bench, and he got his shot again, he really shined towards the end of the season. And in the offseason, I thought the Panthers had a pretty good draft, especially on the defensive line. They put a lot of effort into that defense. As you're saying, it's a pretty bad defense. So they fixed the focus on their team of what they needed, right?
Yes.
So, and a lot has to come down to their young edge rushers and making sure that JC Horn stays healthy, right? So, I'm okay with this team. We just got to see what Bryce Young can do, and they're going to be anywhere from a 4 to a 7-win team, in my opinion. I know that's a big gap. I'm hoping that it's going to be more of a 7-win team for them, and just for Bryce Young himself. So we'll see how this goes, but I know this team's not going to be as explosive as you think they're going to be.
I like their offense. I do. I obviously now the back half of their defense is good, right? You just mentioned
Right.
JC Horn. They got a bunch
But
of
he's got to stay
playmakers.
healthy.
Well, yeah. And in the offseason, they signed him to a 4-year extension over $1 million bucks. So he's at least got paid and he doesn't have to worry about, being injured and losing money. So hopefully that means he, I don't know, plays to the level he can play at, where he just plays as one of the best cornerbacks in the league at one time, like he was.
Mhm.
But again, their D line is 28th in the league. So their D line is going to be
Is
an
that the
issue because,
projection?
yes, that's a projection
And that's
from PFF.
but so that's where it's at because they filled a lot of that space
Mhm.
with the draft, and it's just unproven yet, right?
Well,
So,
that's exactly what it says. So this is, let me
oh,
read
that's
what
cool.
their D line is. I mean, Casino, for someone who doesn't know football, like,
Yeah.
great job. But
Doesn't know football and doesn't know his own team, right?
yeah, there is a lot of projection involved in not ranking the Panthers D line last on this list. It was the worst unit in the league by a significant margin, as we just talked about, allowing 400 yards a season or 400 yards a game last season. Carolina generated pressure on only 23% of pass plays. That is insane.
And yet
Uh,
I went to the Raider game where they beat them, where the
yeah,
Panthers beat the Raiders.
um, which ranked dead last in the league. However, the unit is getting back interior defender Derek Brown, who missed almost the entire season and has
Mhm.
established himself as one of the best young players in the position. The Panthers also signed Wharton in free agency and selected edge rushers Nick Skelton, and I am not even going to attempt this last name. It's Princely U. The last name is U Man Milayan on the second day of the NFL draft. So they got young fronts who missed last year. They bolstered their D line through the draft, like you said. Also through the draft, they drafted my sneaky pick for a guy I'm hoping I can get. Like, I'm doing my fantasy football league draft tonight. I'm hoping also next episode, we're going to have Casino's fantasy corner, and me and him are going to compare our teams that we drafted. So stay tuned for that next
Oh,
episode.
Jesus. Sorry, dropped my phone.
But they drafted Teteroa McMillan, who is a wide receiver I love. Again, a guy who is 6'5, 212 pounds coming out of Arizona. Got him in the first round, drafted him in the top 10. So he is a guy I'm hoping tonight in the draft I can steal in round like 8 or 9. Probably going to have to do it earlier. I might
Yeah,
bite the bullet. But again,
I absolutely
you
love my
pair him
fantasy
with
team.
you pair him with Leggett, who is the number one wide receiver with the best accent in the league. So if that doesn't equate to yards and touchdowns, I don't know what does. But also you got Adam Thielen again and Hunter Renfro. Like, they're cornering the market on every white wide receiver you want in this league. So if this team isn't going to be successful on offense, they have everything I like on offense. Old, white wide receivers and guys with great accents. What more do we need, Casino?
I don't know,
What
man.
more do we need? Who doesn't love Chuba Hubbard? The best name in the league. And again, I'm in love. I think this is going to be my sneaky sleeper pick for team I'm most rooting for this season is the Carolina Panthers to just be good. Just be good.
So let me ask you this. So you bring up Adam Thielen, right?
Yes.
You know that there's the talks with him being traded over to the Vikings. What do you think about that?
So I honestly think he should, because again,
I do too.
Hunter Renfrow right there. Hunter Renfrow is Adam Thielen younger. Like, that's what he is. Like, you have a carbon copy of the guy you can at least get something for.
Yeah.
Like, get a fourth round pick for him.
So essentially the Carolina Panthers and Adam Thielen need to sacrifice about $2.5 million to get this trade done for the Minnesota Vikings, is what Yahoo Sports is saying here as of 2 hours ago. So yeah, we'll have to see how that shapes out. We'll see.
Also,
that doesn't seem like that's too much of money, man. Like, Thielen, you made some money. Like, Panthers, obviously they're not the best and money driven franchise in the league, but they got money. They're still an NFL franchise. So, like, if you want to get this trade done, I don't see how sacrificing $2 or $2.5 million is really the biggest deal. And if I was Adam Thielen, I would be like, oh, let's go to a team that I know is going to be able to win games, at least more games than my team that I'm currently on.
Yeah. Also, I mean, now, Casino, both you and I are married with kids. Despite what our comments say, we don't live in our mom's basement. We live in our own homes and with our wife and kids.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I did not buy that painting up there, but that was the wife's previously. So, but I did put it up.
So their new head coach is Dave Canales, who worked with Seattle for a bunch of years, and then he was the offensive coordinator for the Bucs last year. So we just we'll talk about the Bucs in a minute, but we did our TikToks before this. With the Bucs, they scored more than every team in the NFL last year, outside of 3. Yeah. So they were the 4th highest scoring offense last year. And
they only lost to the Chiefs via fucking coin flip.
Well, and they beat the Eagles, who went to Super Bowl. So the 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl, they were one they beat them, one they lost by 1 score. So again, both Casino and I are on the Bucs when we'll get to in a minute.
I can't wait.
Now, what I am saying is, look at how attractive this man is.
The jawline alone. Yeah, the jawline alone.
Jimmy Garoppolo's brother. Like, dear Lord.
Yeah.
That's the head coach of your football team. Again, everything outside
that's
of
every woman's fantasy when it comes to like an athletic coach or trainer, dude.
Like, he's spit on my microphone. I'm drooling over here.
He's a good looking man, dude. He's a good looking man.
If you're low on the,
I mean, I would probably still take. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's go with. Yeah, no.
He's the new most attractive head coach in the league. And again, you might not like what the Panthers are going to do offensively and defensively. You got to like what the Panthers are in all these other aspects that don't matter at all to football, which is hot head coach. Yeah. We're going to say it hot. Yeah. I'm comfortable in my
I know he's hot. But you know what?
Head coach.
Andy Reid. I'd take Andy Reid.
Well, you've always had that Santa fetish. So that's but outside of that, great names, great just build for this team. You got the small quarterback, you got the fun wide receivers. Again, Panthers.
After you said that, I just had like 30 jokes go through my head. I don't know if I can say them on air. One involved a lap. Let's just move it forward.
Panthers last year a 5-12 team. This year Vegas is projecting them at 6.5. I'm going over. I'm saying this is a 7-8 win team. 7-8 win team. That's my hot. This should have been on my hot takes.
I say 7.
Yeah. With that hottie at head coach.
Yeah.
7 win team.
And yeah, dude, just imagine him going and pounding that drum. Just keep pounding. He's just gonna keep pounding that drum. Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Viewership is gonna be up. It's gonna be higher than Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game. They should just make a nationwide announcement that he's gonna be going over there and pounding that drum, bro.
and that was our Carolina Panthers preview. A
Keep
lot less
pounding.
football than you would like to. Next up, Casino. Let's move to a far less sexy team.
Oh, I don't know what you're
eyes.
talking about. They got some big Penix energy on this team.
Oh, that's true.
Let's go.
We are talking about the 8-9 Atlanta Falcons. Last year they were 8-9, led behind that big Penix energy. Started this season with big Kirk Cousins energy that kind of flamed out. They are going this season into the start of the season with the projected 8th ranked offensive line, which is good news for Penix because they're going to have a top 10 O-line. Their offense last year was worse than you think it would be with obviously Kirk Cousins. I don't even know what happened with Kirk Cousins last year. Maybe we can talk about that in a minute.
He just finally got old, dude.
But they did finish the season as the 6th ranked offense, which I feel like nobody would have realized unless we just brought it up. Their defense, however, 23rd in the league. So your thoughts about the Atlanta Falcons, which again, right now have a worse projected D-line than 29 other teams. The only D-lines projected to be worse are the Saints and Commanders. Falcons have the 30th ranked D-line.
I don't, and that's crazy because I don't think that this team is going to be bad on offense. Like they're not, right? They proved it last year.
That was D-line. Their D-line is 30th.
I understand. What I'm saying is, this offense is going to be good enough. And like, so last year, it's kind of hard to be mad at what, Kirk Cousins getting canned, right? I know he didn't have the best games, but he was still putting up, yards and points and stuff like that. This defense let him down. This defense is going to be horrible this year. And I'm bigger on Michael Penix Jr. than you are. I like him. I know when he started, he played 5 games last year. He started 3 of them. He didn't have the best stats. It was like 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, something like that. I know you have it pulled up. I have it pulled up here somewhere.
For Kirk Cousins? Yeah.
No, not Kirk Cousins. Penix.
Oh, Michael Penix. Yeah.
So he had 3 touchdowns or 3 interceptions.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
775 yards, 58% completion percentage, and he played in
5 games, and he had 3 starts. Yeah. So I mean, and I brought this up last year when we talked about this and when this was happening, that I don't think that he was ready to go in, right? I do think that this is a quarterback, even though he had a decent time in college, and I'll get to some college stats here in a second, that when he went in under Kirk Cousins, who just got paid that massive deal, right? So in my mind, I think he was just like, I'm not going to see that field because they're just paying him way too much. And, that might be bad on him for not being 100% ready, if that is the case. But again, that if I was a backup and my starting quarterback was the highest paid quarterback in the league, I wouldn't expect to be on that field anytime, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, on a team that we know is not, wasn't going to make a run. So like in college, he crushed it in college. His passer rating, he ended 146. He had 96 touchdowns, 34 interceptions, and then he won the Maxwell Award back in 2023. And he led the nation in passing yards with 4,903 and a passer rating of 157.1. That is insane. So his accuracy, I watched him in college. Obviously, they went to the championship, the national championship game. Like he's a good quarterback, right? I like watching him play. So I don't think it's going to have any issue with this team putting up points, especially with that O-line being decent, right? It's going to come down to they're not going to be able to outscore any of the teams they play.
Yeah. Well, they're just
going to a long thing, but that's just the facts of it, man.
Well, and their offense outside of Michael Penix, whatever you think about him, again, they have a top 8 offensive line in the league. And then you look at their offensive starters, Bijan Robinson is projected to be right there with Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry as Gibbs.
Yeah, and
Yeah, Gibbs, like a top 5 running back this
yeah,
season.
yeah, he's going to be a great running back, and then he's got decent receivers. I mean, they're not the greatest. I mean, you got Drake London, you got Daryl Mooney, like some, those are some people that can catch the ball, right?
Well,
So,
again,
and then you have an absolutely elite running back, and you have a good O line. Like this team is going to put up points. They're not going to be able to outscore their opponent this season.
Also, Casino, you did your draft for your fantasy
Yeah,
last night or a couple days ago?
it was yesterday morning we did.
So yesterday morning, did you bite the bullet on Kyle Pitts? Did you do it?
No,
Did you get him as your tight end?
no. No, I
Because
only have
again,
one tight end. Tight ends were a hot commodity apparently in my draft. That I ended up getting Goddard, and that's it. There's no other tight ends on that waiver wire that I would be even sniffing for.
well, you know what? The funny thing is, everybody makes fun of Kyle Pitts just in fantasy. And really, the only issue with him in fantasy is he just never catches touchdowns. So in 4 years, he's had almost 200 receptions. Like, he's a guy that gets the ball and he gets a lot of yards. His first year, he had 1,000 yards. Second year, he obviously got injured. And then the 2 previous years, he's gotten 600 yards, which as a tight end, that's like average, right?
Ooh,
A little bit below average. The thing is, he just doesn't catch touchdowns.
yeah.
Except first year, he got 1 touchdown. 3 years ago, he got 2. 2 years ago, he got 3. Last year, he got 4. So Kyle Pitts
Moving up in the world.
getting 5 touchdowns this year, that's a guarantee if his career goes the way it does. So pencil him in for probably 50 for receptions, 650 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Like, that's what he's just going to be. That's just what he is. He's not everybody, because remember, when he came out of college, everybody was like, this is the next Gronk. This is the next Kelsey. Like, the way this guy's built, the way he plays, like, this is the next great tight end. And then he just hasn't been since his rookie season. He's just kind of been, again, average tight end. He's been
Brock Bowers is taking that position, boys.
Oh yeah, Brock Bowers. Well, now did you see that clip of the Colts tight end, the rookie tight end Tyler Warren, where Gronk was like, "This is the best tight end I've seen come out of college since me. He's the next," like basically being like Tyler Warren, the rookie for the Colts, is the next me.
I
So
saw that.
that's pretty high
I
praise.
saw that, and he was on my radar. But can we trust Jones to get him the ball, right?
No, but who else is he going to throw to on that team? Yeah, who else is he going to throw it to? Just Warren?
No, he's not.
would be
He's
a
just going to try to run the
sneaky,
football, and he's going to get tripped up by the turf monster.
I mean,
Still
that's
one
true.
of the still one of the funniest things ever.
You remember we watched that game together.
We did?
That was at the Eagles bar.
That was at the Eagles bar.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was like
fun.
one of the 3 times. No, that was the one of 2 times you've ever been there, because the other time was the Super Bowl.
I've been there 3 times. I've been there for the Super Bowl twice. Yeah.
When? We didn't go to the Super Bowl. We didn't go this last Super Bowl to the Eagles bar.
I thought I went to 2 Super Bowls.
You were with the Chiefs, Eagles. And then the first Super Bowl is where me, Hawk, and Leah went.
Yeah, it was the Patriots one. I didn't want to be around you. You're right.
Yeah. So you've only been there twice. And it's so funny that the second time outside of the Super Bowl you were there was that Giants-Eagles game where Daniel Jones tripped on the turf.
Yeah.
That was
really fucking funny.
But back to the Falcons, Casino. Vegas, again, very not as high as people are just talking. People are talking about this Falcons team like they're going to compete with the Bucs to win this division. I don't understand that at all.
Not with that defense.
Again,
not with that defense. If they had a 23rd defense in the league, you can try to convince me with that, because their offense is going to be able to put up some points, I think.
But see, but does this fall in line with the Panthers defense, which is just like Panthers defense has to be better because they can't be worse. They were the worst.
They can't be worse.
The Falcons, again, bad defense. They can be worse, but will they be? I don't think so. I don't think they will be worse than they were last year, because again, their defense was so abysmal last year. So the people they added in the offseason, I mean, I'm not really crazy about like, again, with the Panthers, it was like they were missing some young guys. They got some new guys to the draft, maybe new coaching staff, everything can reinvigorate that defense into, again, being middle of the road. Falcons didn't really do anything this offseason. They didn't really sign anybody. There was no big signings, no flashy signings. So if you're running this team back with, again, essentially a rookie quarterback in Michael Penix, like, their offense, again, if it takes a step back and their offense is all of a sudden middling, their defense isn't much better, like, they're going to be worse. I think they could be potentially significantly worse because, again, they overperformed last year at 8-9. I think this is a 6-win team. I could see them very easily switching with the Panthers, where Panthers finish the season 8-9 and Falcons finish 5-12. Like, that's just where my head's at.
The Panthers are not going to win 8 games. But I agree. I agree with you. The Falcons could take a step back, and they could potentially the Panthers could potentially beat the Falcons this season. But they're both not going to get over 7. Neither one of these teams will get 7 wins.
Also, Drake London was one of the 2 players I kept on our keeper league that I do. That's my big league. So hopefully Drake London, again, every year he's played, he's gotten better. He's gotten more receptions and more yards and more touchdowns every year he's played. Going into year 4, I'm hoping for just a big year. So especially, again, if Michael Penix Jr., like you said, translate his college career to his NFL career, like, that's what I'm hoping for. So big Penix energy. Next up, Casino. Let's move, or actually, any further thoughts on the Falcons?
I got nothing left on the Falcons. Let's get to the team with my starting quarterback in fantasy, Mr. Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. God, I love Baker Mayfield. Baker going Bay. I really do like Baker Mayfield just as a person. I think he's great.
Yeah, he's also an attractive guy. Not as attractive as a Panthers head coach, but
no, definitely not.
Attractive, but few people are. Few people are more attractive than the Panthers head coach.
I mean, we're pushing those boundaries there, but I mean, we're not there. We're not there.
Now, when it comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their over under is projected at 9.5.
Yeah.
How are you not smashing that over button for this team?
Yeah, dude. I mean, because they pretty much are walking into the season with 6 wins.
Right? Yeah, they had a good offseason. I mean, they re-signed basically everybody on defense. They brought back Chris Godwin to a 3-year, $66 million deal with $44 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Obviously, they are bringing back the ageless wonder in Mike Evans. They have Baker Mayfield, again, now the undisputed captain of this team. And they have the 6th, according to PFF, the 6th best O-line in the entire NFL.
Yeah, and they just brought in, and now going over onto defense, they did just add Hassan Reddick. That's a great addition, right? Yeah. That helps their pass
especially
rush
if he plays, unlike last year with the Jets. If he plays, he's a good player. I was upset when the Eagles let him go.
That's fair. But yeah, no, I think this is going to be a good team, dude. I have this team really being on the radars of it. They should be on the radar of every NFC team out there.
Yeah, no, I think obviously their D-line is as bad as any D-line in this league, but apparently, or in this league and in this division, because apparently this is the division where they just don't believe in a pass rush, because the Tampa Bay Bucs 27th, Carolina Panthers 28th, Falcons 30th, and Saints 32nd.
Yeah.
So all the teams in this division have just bottom tier defensive lines.
And so I know they made a coaching staff with their offensive coordinator, right? They did bring up Josh Grizzard. He was being, a new offensive coordinator, could be a little shaky. However, he was the pass game coordinator for them last year. So, and Baker was doing really well in the air. So this is not going to be a massive transition in my mind, right? I think that this is still going to be pretty good. I know they broke a whole bunch of franchise records last year. In rushing. Sorry. Continue.
Okay.
I was trying to fight back this tickle, and it's not.
So their offense last year, again, third total offense in the league. Only 3 teams scored
Ooh.
more points than this Buccaneers team did last year.
Yikes.
Their defense is 18th in the league. Obviously, their D line is bad, but their offensive line's good. Their defense outside of their D line is middle of the road, which again I think is all you need to be. Their offense is a top 3 offense in this league,
Oh
both
yeah.
in points scored and every other metric you want to judge this
Yeah.
offense by.
I mean,
So
even with Chris Godwin, his health not being 100%, even if he drops back to like their fourth guy, because say these rookies come up and in, right? They still have a really deep wide receiver core.
yeah. No, I like this team. I think this is one of the teams that, again, with maybe the Lions taking a step back, with maybe the Commanders taking a step back, I think when it comes to the Bucs are one of those teams where you just go, I think Tampa Bay takes a huge step forward.
I do
Like I
too,
just
and that was why I was really happy. I'm talking about fantasy real quick. Like I was happy to get Baker. Quarterbacks just started flying. There was a lot of people that took quarterbacks in the first round, and I was like, oh, so we're doing that, right? So because I made it an OP instead of a flex, I did an OP, so it's basically a double quarterback league,
yeah.
and people just started gobbling up quarterbacks right away. So when it came back around, I didn't jump onto it. I got the quarterback, I think, fourth round. And I was like, okay, I'll wait. And Baker was still available.
Fell right
I'm
into
like,
your lap.
yeah, dude, I'm like, slam that all day because I was able to pick up some good players. Anyway, we'll get into the fantasy later, but I'm super happy with Baker, and mainly because, yes, again, change an offensive coordinator, but he was the pass coordinator from last year, and they were really good through the air. I'm really excited to see what this team can do, and I think Baker's going to have a really, really good year. And again, ever since he moved down there and he just kind of stopped with the noise and stopped doing commercials,
Kind of
maybe
he got out of the news. He
yeah,
stopped being the news.
yeah, he might be doing local commercials, right? Which I think would be fun to look into. But I mean, he's not doing national commercials anymore. He's out of the news, as you said. I really think that helped out his game tenfold, maybe even 100-fold. And I really like this team, and this team is going to really shake up the league in the NFC this year.
Yeah, no, and I think what is it? You look at his stats from last year. He threw 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
And
that is
that's what I'm saying.
4,500 yards. That's
Right.
crazy.
And again, new offensive coordinator, not going to change much because that was the passing coordinator from last year. So this is going to be totally good.
Since he's been in Tampa Bay, his completion percentage went from 60% to 64% to 71%. So
and I think this year can be even higher.
Yeah, he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league in terms of his completion percentage. He throws a lot of touchdowns. He's been in this season. This will be his third year. He got a godsend in rookie Bucky Irving last year, who rushed for 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns on only 200 carries. So now if you're
rushed for over
making
1,100 yards, and Kamara hasn't done it once.
Well, yeah, now if you're making Bucky Irving like your bell cow back or whatever, that's just making, up those to what if he gets 100 more touches? Is this going to be a guy who goes for 15 to 1,800 yards, double digit touchdowns on the ground? Like, I know he's a guy that's a first round draft pick in fantasy drafts because people expect his production to leap to those kind of numbers. But then again, you have Mike Evans, who, unlike Alvin Kamara, has never gone under 1,000 yards in his career. So he just looks like a guy that is as
with being beat up
as possible.
being beat up.
Like, yeah, he's been in the league since 2014. So this will be what, his 11th, 12th year in the league. Like, that's just, there's nothing for Tampa Bay that you look at their offense and have an issue with. And now Chris Godwin is going to miss, I think they said, the first month of the season. But outside of that, they got Emeka Egbuka, great pronunciation by me. Great job. They got him from Ohio State in the middle of the first round. Like, I think he's going to be a great replacement for Chris Godwin. And then when Chris Godwin comes in, you just add another weapon to this already elite offense. Like, again, we talked about it with Atlanta. Atlanta needs to outscore everybody to win. Tampa Bay is going to outscore people and win.
Yeah.
Like that's what this team's going to be. Their team's going to be, again, a top. If they even fall to a top 5 offense in the league, who would be like, that's a bad season? Like
No.
last year, they were what I said they were 10-7. I really think this is like a 12, potentially 12, 13 win team.
I could see them hitting 12. I can truly see them hitting 12 this year.
Their floor, I feel like their floor is at lowest 9 wins, like at lowest. And that's if everything goes wrong, their team's beat up, Mike Evans suddenly falls off. Like, again, Tampa Bay, sleeper pick in the NFC, where people think Eagles, Commanders, Lions, Vikings, all going to take step backs. Like, I'm not hearing the same takes when it comes to Tampa Bay.
No.
I don't think anybody thinks this team takes a step back.
No. I think they take a step forward. I think Eagles stay where they're at. And then, most of the teams in the NFC, I think, take a step back.
Yeah. I think
the ones that are taking like step ups that are not going to be the Bucs, they're not going to be anywhere near what they need to be, to be fighting for a chase in the playoffs.
Yeah, if it is an NFC championship game that's like Packers Bucs, I don't think that should surprise anybody. I think right now, Packers.
I mean, it would be surprising to me a little bit, as I expect the Eagles to.
Well, yeah.
One of my hot takes was Eagles are going to go undefeated until the Super Bowl.
Well, I also think the team that I least likely want to see in the playoffs is Tampa Bay as an Eagles fan, because Tampa Bay knows how to play the Eagles. So, again, if it's divisional round, Tampa Bay Eagles, like that's a matchup I'm scared of more than anything else. So that's how I'm seeing. I can see the path where it's Buccaneers, Packers, NFC championship game. And who knows, maybe it's Bucs, Bills, Bucs, Ravens. I mean, Tampa Bay was in there, 4 years ago?
I would love that.
Yeah. It would at least be nice to just get new teams. If all of a sudden it's Bucs, Bills, like what a fun Super Bowl. Like,
I would love that.
Just out of the blue, random. Outside of that, Casino, we got anything else to add about the Bucs or anything in the NFC South? Or I think we covered it pretty good.
I think we did pretty good job. I think we did pretty good for being a couple guys who live in basements.
Yeah, our mom's basement, where we're both just getting great sunlight in this basement. Also, in Vegas, do you know anybody who has a basement? I don't think I've ever been to a house in Vegas that has a basement.
Oh yeah, our buddy Danny.
I've never been to his house.
Yeah, I mean, it was his parents' house growing up, but whenever him and his wife were saving up money, so they moved to Idaho and bought a house up in Idaho. They live down in the bottom basement, and it has like 5 bedrooms down there. A giant.
What?
It has 4 bedrooms.
In the basement?
Yeah, like it's one of, dude. It's seriously one of the, that part of Vegas, right? Wasn't and still isn't, track home, stuff like that. It was all custom builds and whatnot. Yeah, they have a massive basement. Yeah, that whole cul-de-sac actually, because there's actually 3 families that I would hang out with in that cul-de-sac. My best friend was down the street. They have basements, man.
I mean, also, you asked earlier if I had a bunch of money, what would I do? I'd buy a house with a basement. There you go.
Would you just build a basement?
Yeah, just build a custom basement, put cool things down there. That'd be awesome. On that note, Casino, this has been the Only Sports Podcast. Now, you can't record the podcast on Wednesday. So what day do you want to do instead?
I mean, like I said, either Tuesday, Thursday, or we could do Friday. Whatever works for you. Wednesday is just jam-packed. I got so much going on.
You want to do Friday?
We can do Friday.
Okay. So we'll be back on Friday. Maybe I'll do something Wednesday. I don't know.
Because I know it works best for you on Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So we'll be back on Friday. You can see me back here maybe on Wednesday. I don't know. But Casino and I will be back here on Friday to talk about the AFC South, NFC South, AFC South, maybe the 2 divisions that are the least interesting, but still, when you talk about them, actually really interesting. NFC South. I don't know. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. We will see you back here on Friday. AFC South. I'll maybe see you Wednesday.
Hopefully a little healthier and not sounding like, back a day. Kind of
Yeah.
people.
This has been the Only Sports Podcast. Adios.
Adios.